Hey, this is Mark Shepard, CrushAnxiety.com, and I have 3 key thoughts that I want to share with you today. And ultimately, it's important that they're thoughts because the 3 thoughts are about your thoughts. And I've worked with anxiety sufferers for the last 10 years, people from all over the world. Some people I've been able to help, and some people, to be honest with you, I haven't been able to help. And here's the difference. The people I've been able to help were able to get this point, and I was able to express it to them in a way that they were able to get. And that is this. We are creating everything in our life with our thoughts. So if you're experiencing anxiety, you're actually creating the anxiety, the physiological response in your body with the thoughts you're thinking, the pictures you're running on your mental movie screen, the things you're saying to yourself, and the way you're focusing on the feelings in your body. And that's something that I don't think a lot of people are saying. I think a lot of people are kind of talking about anxiety as if it's some kind of disease, and it's not. So, and the key point of this video is also it's not just about anxiety. Anything you're experiencing in your life right now, good or bad, is the result of thoughts you've been thinking in the past. Okay, so whatever you're experiencing in your life right now, good or bad, positive or negative, is the result of thoughts you've been thinking in the past. All right, so that's a key point. It's huge. Now, I have a number of people. I do some programs in schools where I help kids to stop the bullying and the teasing that's going on. And one of the educators said to me, well, isn't that kind of like blaming the victim? And I really need to point out that the idea that you're creating your world with your thoughts is not about blaming the victim, because ultimately, whatever happens in your life, how you think about it is actually more important than what it really is. So someone could say to you something or look at you in a funny way, and you may think it's one thing, and they may have a whole different experience. You're not inside their mind. You only have control over what's in your mind, the stories you tell yourself about the world and about what other people are doing or thinking or saying. So that is one of the key, hugest points. And the anxiety sufferers I've worked with who got that were like empowered. They were like, oh my God, I am creating this and I can see how I'm creating this. And that's awesome. The people who I haven't been able to help haven't quite been able to get themselves out of the victim place, and they're still in the place where, well, he's doing this to me, or, you know, my father did that to me when I was 4, or whatever. And all of those things are legitimate, and yet, unless you get to this place where, okay, I've created all of this, and by the way, whether or not that's actually true doesn't matter, because ultimately your experience of it is inside your mind, and there's no one else in there except you. So that leads us to point number 2. If your thoughts are creating your world, you are the one who actually has the power to change your thoughts. How cool is that? And if you change your thoughts and you focus on what you want in a powerful, consistent way, that will affect your future. And ultimately, anxiety, as I've said a billion times, is thinking about what you do not want to have happen in the future. So if your thoughts are powerful and you're thinking about what you don't want to have happen in the future, that's where you got to stop and change your thoughts so that you're focusing and imagining what you want out in the future. And if you change your thoughts and the images you're running in your mind and your self-talk and saying some more positive, empowering things to yourself, that is literally going to change your world. Now, last point. Whatever I think about you and whatever you think about me is really about each of us. So whatever I think about you is really about me. Okay, so, and this is a little abstract, but I think it's powerful. If you're annoying me, if you're driving me crazy, if you're nagging me or yelling at me or you're angry with me or whatever you're doing is what you're doing, it's my reaction. It's my reaction and what I make it mean to me. Now, I have the power, because I've been working on this a long time, whenever somebody's angry with me now, at one point I literally had a phobia, and I would do anything I could to avoid someone being angry with me, including lying, by the way, telling them whatever they wanted to hear so that they wouldn't be mad at me. But ultimately, whatever they're doing, I make it now into something I've created. So, okay, let's say my girlfriend's expressing some anger at me. I can go, all right, this is a test. I've created this so to see if I can maintain my composure and keep my heart open for her. She's my teacher in this moment. I've literally on some deep spiritual, unconscious, higher self level, I've hired her. Maybe in a past life, maybe before I was born. We had an agreement that I would trigger her and she would trigger me so that we could practice owning our stuff. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but this is it's the most important thing in the world. It's so important. Anything that happens in your life, if you take the attitude that I've created this so I can create something better, that gives you power. It's not I created this, I'm a jerk. No, I created this, cool. That means I can create something better. I can reinterpret whatever's going on and change my own story about it so that I can give it a positive experience inside myself. So I can be powerful about it rather than be destroyed by it. Does that make any sense? I hope it does, and I'd be happy to answer any questions you have about this. I just think it's so important, and before you can use all the tools and techniques I have for crushing anxiety, this is like the key point, because if you don't get this, then none of the other stuff makes sense. None of the other stuff falls into place, because if you're changing your thoughts about, let's say, a bully, someone who's teasing you or making fun of you, but you're not owning the fact that on some level that person is a gift to you. That person is giving you the opportunity to sharpen your warrior's edge, so to speak. If you don't get that, then you'll still be a victim. And victims are powerless. And that just is a bad feeling. I mean, think of, the times when you've been truly a victim in your life. Not a good feeling. But what if you think of any of those situations and go, I don't quite understand it. I don't quite understand why, but on some level I created that, which means if I created that, I can create something better. So that's my challenge for you today. Today, create something better. Today, own your thoughts. Today, every experience that happens to you, good and not so good, basically tell yourself, hey, I created that, and it's a test. I created that so that I can learn. I created that so I can practice. I created that so I can truly get the fact that I am the most powerful being on the planet inside my experience, right? So thank you so much for watching. This is Mark Shepard, Stop Anxiety Expert. Visit me at crushanxiety.com, and there's lots more to share with you, and thank you so much for taking the time. All right, have a great day.